Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of News Dose, where I keep you up to date with everything going on in the gaming world, and the last 24 hours has been pretty crazy, not just from a game standpoint either, but all I can really say is to stay safe out there and stay healthy. With that said though, we do have plenty to talk about today, including a big title coming to Xbox's game streaming service, Project XCloud. Do remember that these games are free as well with no additional cost, so we're going to go over that and what it could possibly mean for the platform going forward. Also, CD Projekt Red is already thinking about their next game beyond Cyberpunk 2077, and this is one that will surely get people excited, so stay tuned for all of that. But first, let's go over some of the quick news. Call of Duty Warzone released a couple days ago on March 10th, and I think most people really expected it to be a huge release. After all, Call of Duty is not just one of the biggest franchises in the entire industry, but the Battle Royale genre has really exploded in recent years with PUBG, Fortnite, and Apex Legends, but what could an already established franchise do while also being free to play? Well, we didn't have to wait too long to figure it out, as Activision has already announced that more than 6 million people have played Call of Duty Warzone. You know, this was done in just one day, but just as expected, it is absolutely massive. And for comparison's sakes, Apex Legends, which had an incredible launch itself, did 2.5 million in just one day, but what is scary here is that Apex Legends, it eclipsed 25 million within just 1 week. That makes me wonder how many people are going to jump into Call of Duty Warzone. Like I said before, it's an already established franchise, whereas Apex Legends was a complete shadow release. Nobody even knew about this game at all. It just released out of nowhere. Nobody knew what it was, but popular Twitch streamers picked it up quick, and social media was buzzing about it, so it really exploded. I will say that I haven't seen near as much buzz surrounding Warzone, but just because it's Call of Duty, I do wonder if it can also reach 25 million in just 1 week. Let me know what you think. Can Warzone reach 25 million in a week? And also, if you've been playing it, have you been enjoying Warzone? How does it compare to some of the other Battle Royale games out there? Moving on though, you know that mysterious Nintendo tweet the other day teasing a Mario-Lego partnership? Well, many of us, including myself, was thinking it could be a video game, or at least that's what we were hoping, because honestly, a Mario Lego game, it does sound kind of cool. Well, the thing is, today it was officially unveiled as an interactive Mario Lego set. Now that isn't necessarily a bad thing, because it does look really cool for those who are into Legos. I think kids in specific will absolutely love this thing, and it does seem highly interactive. It appears that you can make your own levels. You have several miniature figures from the Mario world, including Shy Guys, you have Bowser Jr., Piranha Plant, and much more. So yeah, it sounds like it'll be really cool, and I would expect several different Mario Lego sets to be announced going forward, so if you're into Legos or you know somebody who is, keep an eye out on this one. I think this one's going to be really cool. In other news, Tell Me Why, the game developed by Dontnod and Xbox Publishing, had some pretty good news, or at least in my opinion. So for me, and this is just my opinion, but I really dislike episodic games. Not because they're bad or anything, because, well, they aren't. In fact, I think The Walking Dead Season 1, Life is Strange, and Wolf Among Us are all really great games. The problem for me, though, is that the release schedules have been absolutely horrendous for episodic games. Wolf Among Us, for example, I never actually finished that game, even though I really liked it, because each episode was released so far apart from one another. Well, luckily, when it comes to Tell Me Why, it will release for $30, and each episode will be releasing within weeks apart from one another, which is huge for me. Tell Me Why will be 3 episodes and roughly 3 hours each. Before this news, I would have likely have skipped out on Tell Me Why, but with this update, I may look into considering it, because I really did like Life is Strange a lot. I think that was a great game, and coming from the same developers, this could end up being a really good game as well. Now, we also have a quick update for the game For Honor, as they have announced that it will be getting a crossover character, the Prince of Persia. This will be done through a limited time event that lasts until April 2nd, and it appears the Prince of Persia isn't actually playable. Instead, this will be a new game mode where the Prince of Persia will randomly spawn on the map from time to time, and if you kill him, you get a ton of points. It sounds like a cool idea in theory, but if you ask me, I would rather just get a new Prince of Persia game. I think the last Prince of Persia game was released way back in like 2010 or something. Wow, I mean, if that's really true, it has been a long time, but either way, this still is a cool event for fans of the Prince of Persia franchise and For Honor. So, if you like either one of those games, this might be something cool to check out this month. Now with some of the quick news out of the way, let's move on to some of the bigger stuff. Microsoft and Team Xbox seems prepared to be much more open with Project XCloud and what's going on over there with their streaming service, and have now opened a brand new YouTube channel to give us development updates from the team. In fact, with their first video posted, they announced a few different tidbits, including a big game will be releasing into XCloud soon, which will be Yakuza 0. Actually, I just looked on XCloud a moment ago, and it looks like it's already available. Now, as I noted earlier, you have to remember, for the time being, XCloud is completely free as long as you are in the Xbox Insiders program, so you will be able to go play Yakuza 0 on XCloud completely 100% free right now. Now, they did say that Yakuza 0 will not be the only title coming in this update, and that there will be around 90 titles available in XCloud, but Yakuza 0 coming to XCloud could potentially be a really big deal, and I'll tell you why. I've said this before, but I do think one way for Xbox to get more support from Japanese developers is by incorporating Project XCloud and Xbox Game Pass and make that a marketing pitch to Japanese developers. Japan absolutely loves handheld consoles, and Microsoft does have plans to release XCloud in Japan sometime in 2020. And now that we're already seeing a premier Japanese game release into both Xbox Game Pass as well as XCloud, that isn't the only game either, because Devil May Cry 5, World of Final Fantasy, and Tekken is all there as well, so we are already seeing some Japanese support for Project XCloud. But for me, I'm thinking once this does release in Japan, having these games in XCloud could potentially be a really big deal. I think a lot of fans may like the idea of playing a game like Yakuza on their phone. I myself have been using XCloud a lot myself here recently. In fact, I use the Razer Jungle Cat, which is an amazing Nintendo Switch-like device to play my games on my phone, and I actually beat an entire game on it just last week. Wuppo, which, by the way, if you haven't heard of that game, it's an excellent little Metroidvania game that not many people really know about. Definitely go check that game out if you haven't heard of it. I also beat the first boss in Yakuza 0 on XCloud, but in both these cases, I was using console streaming, which is essentially remote play. Now, I'm not really sure why they had to name it XCloud, but you know, branding and all that. Both worked wonderfully though, but I will emphasize that you do need to use a 5G network. When I was not on 5G, it was very laggy. As for streaming over their servers though, I've had no issues there either, and when I did try Children of Morta on it, it ran flawlessly for me. I'll have to test out Yakuza 0 and see how that one works out, but yes, I do think that this could help Xbox with Japanese developers. For Japan, they like their handheld platforms, and more so than home consoles even. If they manage to get Monster Hunter World on XCloud, yeah, they're going to love something like that. Now, they did have one more update that I thought was really interesting, and that was that Ninja Theory was updating Hellblade with motion controls. See, the thing for me is I don't really care for motion controls. That's why I have the Razer Jungle Cat. I like physical buttons myself, and I can't really stand touch controls personally, but with that said, it can be irritating carrying a controller everywhere you go, and having that option to play these big games with just touch controls, that could be a nice addition. It's not something that I can see myself using, but I'm sure there are plenty of people who will use this. They did mention something about the Coalition and Rare working on something XCloud related as well, but they didn't exactly say what it was, so I guess we'll have to wait until a future update to hear more about that. As always, I'll try to keep you updated if I do hear more about it though. Either way, I'm excited for the future of XCloud, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the Xbox brand. What about you though? Have you tried XCloud yet? And if you have, what's your thoughts on it? Let me know. Now for the last bit of news, and this is a big one, but CD Projekt Red has already revealed what their next game will be beyond Cyberpunk 2077, or at least we know what universe it will take place in. Yeah, that's right, CD Projekt Red has plans for a brand new single-player Witcher. This was stated by none other than the president of CD Projekt Red, Adam Kaczynski, but he did note that it will not be The Witcher 4. This shouldn't be too surprising considering in the past they have claimed that The Witcher 3 was the end of Geralt's story, and as sad as that may be, it looks like CD Projekt Red is sticking to their guns here, or at least for the time being. Nonetheless, we do have a new Witcher game to look forward to, and he even said they have a clear concept of what it'll be. So this should be expected to be developed on as soon as Cyberpunk 2077 is completely finished. Now, they will have two larger teams working on Cyberpunk's multiplayer after release, but a smaller team will be dedicated to this new Witcher project. It being developed by a smaller team does make me wonder what type of game it will be though. We, of course, have seen them do a few spin-offs to the Witcher franchise already, including Gwent and Thronebreaker. Thronebreaker turned out to be an excellent game though, so will it just be a smaller Witcher experience, something like Thronebreaker, or could it be a little bit more ambitious? What do you think? What would you like to see CD Projekt Red do with the Witcher franchise? I think for me, I would like to see something a little bit more traditional like the mainline Witcher franchise. I don't really mind if it's not Geralt of Rivia personally. It could be a completely new character, or it could revolve around Ciri. They could also try and explore different types of RPGs and maybe make a turn-based Witcher, or even something more similar to the Divinity franchise. That is probably doubtful, but I'm just spitballing as of this moment. All I know is that I'm really excited to see what they come up with. CD Projekt Red may possibly be one of the best developers in the entire industry right now, and I love the Witcher franchise, so I'm definitely excited to see them return to Witcher yet again. Anyways, though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to hit the bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Peace out.